much value in here. Um, so as you were talking, this question popped up in my mind. How do you manage less skilled people in the choir and the skilled ones? How do you balance how you put them in places of in the places of service? Like so choir, like you said, is a high skilled uh,
Mhm.
department. We need skill on there. However, people are attracted to the choir because of how, it's kind of out there in the open. People see you, and naturally, people just are attracted to the choir, and you attract all sorts, both skilled,
Yeah,
semi-skilled, no skill, everything. How do
exactly.
you handle handle all that and making sure that nobody feels less because they are not so skilled? How do you do that?
Hmm. So, first of all, I know there was a time that we talked about recruiting people in the choir that don't take people that are not skilled. Like we need people that can sing,
Mhm,
which is very, very true. But back when I was in campus fellowship, when I wanted to join the choir, I actually wanted to join choir and drama.
mhm.
So that was what I wanted to join, but because I love drama. I didn't act, but I love drama. I was
Okay.
actually writing plays then.
Oh,
So, but
okay.
my first passion was choir. So drama
Mhm.
was secondary. So I went to the choir department and they had to do this auditioning for us. And of course, I had to. They said, "Who is your favorite artist?" And then that time I was listening to Graham Kendrick. So when I said, "Oh,
Oh.
Graham Kendrick," they're like, "Oh yeah, that's good. Sing a song." And I just sang, "Is anyone thirsty? Anyone?" I just sang it, and they were like, "Oh wow, that's good." So it was an easy ride for me,
Mhm.
right? So obviously they had to get me into the choir, but I remember that they didn't take a lot of people. They didn't take a lot of people, and people got so much discouraged that we had a good choir then. Our choir was very okay. We could sing very well, which was very good. But a lot of people were discouraged. Some of them ended up going to drama. Some of them ended up not doing anything in the church. So that was why from that experience, so if anybody comes that they want to join the choir, I'm kind of so reluctant to send them back
Mhm.
based on that they don't have the skill.
Yes.
I totally agree that some people don't have the skill and then they're in the choir. I totally agree, but based on that experience, that no, I don't want to discourage people
Yeah.
from serving God because the
Mhm.
basis is serving God, right?
Yeah.
So and the heart, you look at the heart with which they come to serve. Um, so now me doing what's the word you use? Like managing people with high skill, semi skill, no skill. Well,
Yeah.
the major thing is that when you have a choir, when you have your choristers, you have to identify what their strengths.
Yeah.
When you know their strengths, you know how to blend them so that it doesn't affect the service in the church. So
Mhm.
for me, the basic approach that I think is starting with the small things. Of course, it depends on if somebody doesn't have any skill and they are ready, they are willing to learn,
Yeah.
right? If you see that openness in them to learn, then you start giving them small assignments. Sometimes you just take them, go and take the hymn, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Take the hymn, like start with you facing the congregation. The hymn is a congregational hymn, right? So everybody, you're not like leading, but it's just to develop that stage
Yeah.
charisma, like
Mhm.
your composure on stage. So that helps them to develop composure on stage. So by the time they do that for a while and you see that this person is improving,
Yeah.
then you can move them. You can move
Mhm.
them. Maybe you can do worship. So gradually, if you see them improving, we've had situations that people we put them on hymns, that's the only thing you give them because they're not improving.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if they're not ready to improve, you just leave
Leave
them,
them.
right? But as many of them that are willing to improve, so you start gradually. And sometimes you just in the rehearsal, I just call them. I look most of the time. I hope they're not listening to this, so they will not know my strategy. Because I just call them at random, right? And
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, me? Oh, yes, you."
Yeah.
So come and lead us in worship, lead us in praises. In the If you're not comfortable leading us in the rehearsal, then you're not ready to lead the church,
Yeah.
right? So that's just what I think happens. And if you know that this person is not ready at all, they're not ready to do anything, all is just for them to come and just enjoy the euphoria
The
of
community. Yeah.
rehearsal, the
Yeah.
community. But some
Yeah.
people come for that and you just leave them.
Mm-hmm.
You just leave them. You don't even until they are ready.
They show
Until they're
that they
ready.
want to
And
improve. Yeah.
yeah. And another thing that I know is that it's not everybody in the choir that sings, because we have different sections in the choir. Like we have welfare, we have people
Mm-hmm.
that do the uniform, we have people like that. If you notice that some of them don't like are not in the forefront,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you recognize people's capacity, you
Exactly.
place them. And
Mm-hmm.
for this welfare, for this, it's not that I intentionally say, okay, you manage welfare. It's just people taking responsibility by themselves. Like, oh, Sister, me, we can do this, we can do that. And I said, oh, yeah, go ahead and do it. They
Mm-hmm.
just needed me to say the permission from me. I said, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
if you can. I'm not a welfare person. I
Mm-hmm.
can't do it. So if I see somebody, oh, yeah, if I see somebody that has that passion, and we have people like that in the choir, they see to the welfare of the choir. So they don't have to be like in the forefront leading praise and worship. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, if they want to lead, that would be awesome. But
Mm-hmm.
let people follow their passion. You understand?
For sure.
Because we are a community. We're growing together. So
Mm-hmm.
we're growing together. So when you see that, okay, this is the aspect that this person is good at, you give them the responsibility and you see that they are doing it with joy. They are
Mm-hmm.
happy doing it. I know you will be putting one plus one together and
For
see,
sure. For sure.
those
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
people. You see that
Mm-hmm.
they are happy doing it. So they don't have to be at the forefront
Mm-hmm.
because that's their responsibility in the choir.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's just managing everybody together. So we are that one team that we are.
For sure. I appreciate so much that you see the choir beyond just people who present on stage. From what you see, from what you're speaking, I see that you see it as a ground for discipleship. So turning away people is usually not the best option, especially when you can find roles for them at the stage they're in, so that they can still be part of the community, part of a church, part of a people who love God and worship God. And there is nothing that sharpens your character than the choir community, because there you'll be rejected. There you see people picked over you. There your emotions are high because you're doing something you love. So you're open. Your emotions are open, so you learn how to control yourself. You learn how to put yourself in check. Your emotions, you know how to learn temperance in the choir. So you've recognized that the choir is beyond just that 5 minutes presentation on stage. It's a whole system. It's a whole system of
Yeah.
discipleship, and you're using it correctly. And the Lord bless you for
Amen.
recognizing that. I appreciate you so
Mm.
much. So our last question: what advice do you have for somebody who's just stepping into a choir leadership role? What can you say to the person?
Ah. Well, God. I can,
Absolutely.
yeah, the Holy Spirit. Yeah, that has been, yeah, it has been so helpful. Yeah, it has. Sometimes though, I see when I started as a choir leader, because I had to step in at that because it was needed. I was a bit reluctant, and it was needed at that time, so I had to step in. And I went to God, and God gave me some instructions. God gave me some instructions, I would say, and I see them come to play. I see them come to play. Like when you were talking about bringing the choir from nothing to a common, like, well, not nothing, but at that time it was at the verge of breaking,
Mhm.
at the verge of breaking. So I was like, why at this point,
Yeah.
right? And people come and leave. I don't like people leaving, right?
Mhm.
And it burdened my heart. Like, well, we had some skillful people that left at that time. I was like, oh God, where do I start from? How do I start? And I had to pray to God a lot. I had to pray my heart out to Him, and God gave me some instructions that this is what is going to happen. I don't want to go into details. He said, "This is what is going to happen. This is what is going to happen. That don't fret yourself. That people are leaving. That He is at work." So I had to relax my mind, and I said, "It's going to bring people." And God has been faithful to it. So I will talk about the God aspect, the spiritual aspect. As a choir leader, you're not just leading people, you're leading the people of God. So let God do the work. let God do the work by himself. I don't see myself doing anything, honestly. I don't, because I just say, yeah, God is your work. I'm just there to
Yeah.
just see things. I see myself as a member as well, right? So it's just do your work.
Yeah.
Let God do it. And it's an administration. Well, for me, my choir, the aspect of my choir leadership is more of administration than the musical aspect. It's more
Yeah.
of administration. So the administration part is very, very important. Understand the people you're working with and make them don't feel like, okay, I can do this on my own. Make people let them feel belong, let them
Yeah.
feel that they are part of this community, let
Yeah.
them know that I'm a stakeholder in this community. So let people see that, identify and understand people's capacity, their responsibilities. And yes, so I've talked about the God aspect, and then the administrative aspect. Understand and identify people's strengths, their skills, and how you can make it to work as a team. And I would say, lastly, we have to develop ourselves too. Like, we don't know everything all. And even though you're a choir leader, you're still a choir member. You are first a choir member
Yeah.
before you are a choir leader, right? Whether you are a music director or whatever position you're holding in any place, you're first a member of that team first before you are called into the role of leadership. So we should not lose sight of that. That's this is my core assignment is to minister to the Lord in the choir. So I shouldn't forget that responsibility. I should stay to it. And then this leadership is just a secondary, so to say, is
Yeah.
secondary. So if we put it together like that, I think it's going to help. Don't just see yourself like, oh yeah, I'm now the head. I'm in control. I'm in the uh, what do we call it? Control of affairs or
Yeah.
whatever.
You're the Alpha and Omega.
Exactly, exactly.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you so much, Sister Janet Ajayi. We appreciate your presence on our podcast today. But before we go, she said she's a gospel artist. And I just want her to talk about her journey as a gospel artist besides choir leading a choir. Like, what's the journey like? What are we expecting in the nearest future from your ministry? Please speak to us. We are geared up. We get your back.
Oh, well, by God's grace, where we should see more. I've stayed back for a long time, and when you know that God is actually pushing you, that when He said something, He said, "Tarry ye in Jerusalem until you be endued with power." Right, and I think in Acts chapter 1, He said, "You shall receive power after the Holy Ghost has come upon you, and then you shall be my witnesses in Jerusalem." He said, "Tarry ye in Jerusalem." And
Mhm.
then tarry ye in Jerusalem, and then your ministry starts from Jerusalem, your local place. But he said, and in Judea. So
Mm.
he's sending you outside your comfort zone and to the uttermost part. So it's in layers. In
Mm.
Jerusalem, in Samaria, in Judea, in Samaria, expanding it gradually
Yeah.
and to the uttermost
Uttermost
part.
part of it.
Yeah, so you don't start from the uttermost. You
Mm.
start from Jerusalem
Mm.
and gradually go to
Judea.
Samaria,
Abi, abi.
Judea, whichever one, and then to the uttermost is the so
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of us we want to go to the uttermost first. I see the
Mm. Mm.
yeah. Yeah, it's one thing that God is dealing with me and He's still dealing with me. And pray God will help us because it's not just to release a song. It's not just to because everybody is doing it, you want to do it. But
Mm.
what is God sending me to do? What impact am I making for my generation? So it's not all about, I want the world to hear me, but what is God sending me to do? It's very, very key. So, to the glory of God, I see that, okay, God is pushing me, like push, push, push. So
It's
I want
time.
to, so there will be, by the special grace of God, next month, a song will be coming out. It's just a starting point, actually.
Yes,
I
so
believe
yeah.
more will come by the grace of God. I believe more will come. So there will be a song that will be released to this generation as
Oh,
God will have it. And yeah,
be
and
ready for
more is to
anointing.
come. Yeah.
Yeah.
And more
Yeah.
will be coming by the special grace of God. I believe it's just a starting point. Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Sister Janet. There's so much value in this episode, so much value. If you're a choir leader, you're a choir member, if you're just a Christian, you should listen to this episode. It has so much power. I feel it's going to answer a lot of questions. I feel it's going to illuminate the hearts of a lot of people. And so we've come to the end of today's episode. Thank you for staying with us till this point. If you have stayed with us to this point, it means that you have drawn value from this. Please subscribe. And if you have questions, leave it in the comment section below. And yeah, thank you for watching. And I'm your favorite choir member, Neka. Till next time, remain blessed. Goodbye.